I am back once again. on my way down here, I saw a baby garter snake. I almost stepped on it. It was actually probably a teenaged garter snake, but I always love seeing them. Excuse me. I came down here with a certain topic I wanted to talk about, which is going to be a first. So this is going to be even more of a practice for me, in the sense that I have a direction I wish to go in besides just pure expression. It's directed pure expression. But what I wanted to talk about, it's this idea of, and I can take this at multiple levels, and I think I'm just going to start with childhood. And maybe expand from there. And maybe I'll use myself as an example. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So, it's like me, I'm sure by now my channel, I've mentioned it before, but I think it's probably obvious that for me, truth and reality is very important to me on such a soul level. And it's something I strive for, it's something I desire, not just emotionally and mentally, but everything. And it's like I've always been this way. And the idea I want to talk about is the experience of how your environment can affect your ability to perceive yourself accurately, starting in childhood. So, say someone like me was born into a family that operated from a sense of, yes, let's all acknowledge reality. Let's all face truth and speak truth. I would have been able to experience myself. But this was not my reality. My reality was of a honestly dysfunctional family. And a very dysfunctional family that didn't honor truth, that didn't desire to acknowledge reality. It, in fact, was desperate to do the opposite. And so it's as though the very core of who I am was a threat to that goal. And my experience of self because of that. I was never able to experience the truth of who I was. Because I'm getting into, I feel like there's so much I need to add here to clarify. Let's just start with me describing my family home as dysfunctional. There's no judgment here. I've come to a place where I have made peace with my childhood, and I don't blame my caregivers or anyone. I know that my caregivers were wounded. They were suffering. they were in pain and they wanted to run. They were required to run from their pain. And I sort of feel as though I'm being forced to add so much detail or I'm feeling forced to add so much detail that I feel as though I'm getting away from my point. And I'm feeling a desire to end this and start over. And there's a part of me that feels as though that would be justified and valid to do so. But maybe I don't need to. Maybe this is something I can post, even if it makes no sense to anyone. Let's just get back to my point. When the core of who you are is experienced as a threat to your environment and the people around you, as I've said, I embody truth and reality. Or I embody the desire to move towards truth and reality, to discover the truth and discover reality, no matter what it is, no matter if it's painful, no matter if it's ugly. And even without having to say a word, it's just something I embody. And so your environment has a massive effect on how you, especially if you had a childhood in which this happened. Because I'm beginning to see that it's all about perspective. These qualities about myself, I could experience them as an amazing gift if I was around people who were like me. It would be an invaluable, wonderful, beautiful thing, and I would have that mirrored back to me. But it's as though I have yet to discover this type of environment. And this is not about blame or judgment. This is just about sharing my experience and the wisdom I've uncovered in regards to it. I'm beginning to detach from the effect I have on my environment. It's not my responsibility. If I stand in truth, in reality, if this is what I embody, if this is threatening to the people around me and the illusions they are required to uphold and live within, that's not my problem. Excuse me. It's not a reflection of the nature of who I am. It's not my fault. Another idea I've thought about that sort of relates to this is the effect of the ripple effect of beginning to stand in your power and not and not play along with what people need you to be. Because when you interact with people, you can feel their projections. At least for me, it's like, oh wow, this person sees me this way based on the way that they're speaking to me. And they're very mistaken. They're very mistaken. And in the past, this was something I was so powerless to. But that's changed. I lost my train of thought. But it's like, oh yes, the ripple effect. So when you finally begin to stand in your power and be your true self unapologetically, even if you don't say a single word, it's something that's felt. It's something that's felt. It creates a ripple effect upon the people around you. And this ripple effect can be absolutely devastating to your environment. It can create such destruction in a way that you may feel terrible about. It could destroy relationships. It could destroy everything so much. And it's just this natural ripple effect that will take place. And part of my journey has been about recognizing this and making peace with the fact that this is not my problem. My journey is to get to this place of standing in my power unapologetically. And whatever becomes destroyed by me doing something so beautiful and amazing and wonderful was meant to be destroyed. And it's not my problem.